Well, hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Amy Sweezey. Thank you so much for being here. This is Florida Weather Authority. Myself, along with meteorologist Tom Sorrells and Dr. Rob Eicher, have created this YouTube channel, and we have so many new subscribers. So we want to thank you for being one of them. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're just seeing this video because a friend shared it with you, we would appreciate if you go right down to the bottom of this video and hit that subscribe button. And of course, give us a thumbs up as well, and then share this information with your friends. The three of us have decades of TV experience in Central Florida, and now we are bringing some of that information to you via the internet, via YouTube, and we don't have any of the same restrictions that we had on TV. So I can wear a t-shirt that says meteorologist, not a weather girl on it. And I can do this from my home. I can do this from the Florida Weather Authority studio. We can record videos when we're on location as well. So we're super excited about this new channel. And today, I'm super excited to talk about our weekend weather because today is Friday, July 24th, and the weekend is here. So let's get right to it. I've got some graphics prepared here for us to all share together so we can see what's going on. All right, first of all, I need my glasses because I can't see anymore without them, at least not those tiny little words that are on my computer screen. We're starting in Texas. I know it makes zero sense, right? We're Florida Weather Authority, not Texas Weather Authority, but we need to start in Texas because this is where Bertha has gone bye-bye. Bertha was a tropical storm, then a tropical depression. It dissipated, and now it's just a little bit of rain, but there are no more watches, warnings, or any other kinds of impacts other than some rain being felt in Texas from the system. In fact, as you look the current weather alerts, that's what's going on in Texas. That's more like it. Those are heat advisories that you see in the orange color there. But the rain, when we look at the radar, there's a couple showers that have already fallen apart and moved over into Mexico. And that's about it. Bye-bye, Bertha. Happy to see Bertha go. Happy to see not too much damage. There was some flooding in some locations along the Gulf Coast, but things much, much quieter now today for any cleanup that may need to happen. All right, let's talk about Florida. This is why you came here, to talk about our sunshine state. A little bit of rain. This is, of course, in the morning hours. Let me stop this because it actually goes back a couple of hours and then it comes up to the present time. So at 9:20 in the morning, on Friday, there's a couple showers along the coast. Now, some of those will move inland this morning, but we really don't have a lot of rain expected again today. And that is mainly because we are still getting a little bit of dry air, but things are changing as we get into the weekend. We're going to start seeing the moisture build. We're going to start seeing our rain chances increase, and the humidity levels are going to head up too, which means those heat index numbers will be climbing as well. But we're still kind of in that transition period at the moment. You can see on the satellite imagery here, there's clouds all around us, clouds in South Florida, clouds in North Florida, clouds out over either body of water. But in Central Florida, much of the peninsula, starting the day with sunshine, and we'll just see scattered clouds as we continue into the afternoon before we start to see that rain develop. All right, now speaking of the rain, let me scoot this over so I can move this a little bit. Speaking of the rain, I want to go to the computer model. I don't really want to talk about the temperatures quite yet. I want to talk about the rain first. So let me switch over here to our computer model. I will stop this. Now, this is like our future cast, and we'll start it on Friday morning. And what you'll notice is a little bit of rain near the coast today, a little bit of rain in South Florida, Lake Okeechobee, down toward Marco Island, some rain in North Florida, north of Gainesville along I-10, but across much of Florida. I mean, look at that. That's 4 o'clock on Friday, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. There'll be a few pockets, but not very many. The coverage is very low once again, which of course means that our temperatures will climb. But notice now as I scoot this forward, we're going to go into Saturday. On Saturday, we'll start to see a little bit more rain develop. This is in the afternoon, mainly north of the I-4 corridor. So Sumter County, Marion County, up into Flagler, northern Volusia will likely see some afternoon showers. And then notice it kind of stays north and west of I-4 all the way through the evening. And then we'll start seeing it push to I-4 and a little south of I-4 by 7, 8 o'clock, a little bit closer to sunset. But overall coverage, not super impressive. A little bit higher on Saturday than it is today on Friday. And then we'll see even more rain developing once we get into Sunday. So we'll be watching for just kind of an increase in moisture. We'll talk about why here in just a second. But I do want to go back to the temperatures because I did show you that earlier. This is Friday morning. Again, this is the computer model's temperature, so it's not the actual daytime highs, but this is the temperature at 4 o'clock today. Shows 92 for Orlando, 95 for Gainesville, 93 Tallahassee. I do think a lot of our inland areas, a lot of the peninsula will hit 94, 95, 96 today. And then the beaches will be slightly cooler in the lower 90s just because we will have a little bit of that East Coast sea breeze kicking in. But as we go forward then into Saturday, notice it gets a little bit hotter. We start seeing 95, 94, similar situation, slightly higher humidity though on Saturday, which means the heat index numbers will be a bit hotter too. So let me put the heat index on here so you'll be able to see that. This is the feels like temperatures. Friday, that's 3 o'clock. So right around 100, 101 is what we'll see today. And then as we get into Saturday, a little bit higher, anywhere from 100 to 102 is what this particular computer model is saying. I think there'll be some pockets that even get up to 105. But you know what we saw when Bertha was here or nearby, when Bertha was west of us, we had the circulation bringing in just a little bit of dry air. So our dew points dropped, which has to do with the humidity. And that's why when it was 96, it felt like 97 or 98. It didn't feel like 105 or 110 the last few days. I think it was especially noticeable in the evening, not so much during the day because our sun here in Central Florida is still so intense and so hot. And the actual air temperature at 96 is hot. It feels really intense. But without the humidity, once the sun goes down, that's when it's a lot more noticeable and a lot more comfortable, easier to breathe when you're outside. So we've enjoyed that for a couple of days, but now into the weekend and into next week, the moisture is building back in. So not only does that mean higher humidity and higher dew points, it means hotter heat index numbers, it means more rain, and it means more cloud cover and higher chances of rain, more locations will get rain. So a lot of things are impacted by the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere. And since Florida is surrounded by water, it's a significant impact on our weather for several months out of the year. All right. I do want to show you, I'm going to skip the dew points because we already talked about that. But what I do want to show you is back to our outlooks, the fact that the Storm Prediction Center has put us under a general thunderstorm risk. So this isn't a marginal risk or a slight risk for severe weather, but it means that one or two of our storms today will have some intense lightning, some downpours. But again, the coverage, as I showed you earlier, is so low that it's going to be super isolated. So very few of us will get rain at all. But the pockets that do develop because of the heat of the day, and it will be so intense, those few little pockets that do develop will likely have some thunder and some lightning in them. So just kind of keep that in mind as you plan out your Friday. All right, this is our surface map. I want to show you this because this is the reason that our moisture is increasing the next few days. This is tonight, and notice this front here, this stalled out front. This time of year in the summer, the reason that it's always hot and humid every single day and we get the afternoon storms, it's because cold fronts don't make it all the way through our state. Now, in the wintertime, they do, and that's why we dry out and have some pretty beautiful weather. But in the summer, it just doesn't happen. But what I want you to notice is this is Saturday morning. That front is still stalled out north of us. This is Saturday night, and then this is Sunday morning. Still that stalled front. When those fronts are nearby, they do help bring a little extra moisture our way. So we're going to into the weekend and then especially into Monday when this front sags all the way south, even south of Atlanta, that really starts pumping some more moisture into our area. And then see this area of low pressure off the coast. That forming also brings more moisture our way as well. So between those two things, we're going to start bumping up our chance for rain on Monday and get back to a more normal pattern, even seeing higher than normal chances for rain as we get into next week. This is Tuesday morning. It looks like the front starts to fall apart, but then Wednesday morning gets itself back together again. And then Thursday morning, once again, pushes south. And then check out Friday morning. By the end of next week, as we round out the month of July and we start heading into early August, look how close this front is, right along the border in Florida with this area of low pressure. That is, when it's this close, really going to add extra moisture. So on the 7-day forecast, you're going to see that increased chance for rain for sure, which I'll actually show you here now. on the graphic. Notice hot temperatures. Today we're in the mid 90s. Into the weekend, we're in the mid 90s as well. The chance for rain very low today, goes up slightly tomorrow. Then on Sunday, it will feel like a little bit more of a typical day here in the summertime in Central Florida. We will have more coverage of rain. We'll have temperatures that are hot and humid. The heat index will be up into the 105 range again. And then look at Monday and into next week. Look how our chances for rain then remain on the high side, 50, 60%. Temperatures start to head down slightly. But remember, our average high right now is 92. So the fact that it's 95, 96, that's not so unusual. It's a few degrees warmer than normal, but it's, not 99, it's not 100, but it is definitely hot. So that is the forecast as we head into the weekend. We are planning on rain. We're planning on an increase of moisture. We talked a little bit more about why that happens. I am so happy that you are here today to hear about this forecast. I appreciate you joining me. If you're new to our channel, please hit like on this video, share it with your friends, and also the subscribe button down at the bottom. Feel free to click on that so that you don't miss any updates. Again, we are Florida Weather Authority. We're based in Central Florida, but we are going to be expanding and talking about Florida all over the Sunshine State. So if you have friends in North Florida, friends in South Florida, you can, of course, you're welcome to share this video with them and let them know about our channel. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Amy Sweezey from Florida Weather Authority, joined by Tom Sorrells and Dr. Rob Eicher. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.